Hi! Welcome back to my channel. Before we get into this video, I wanted to thank all the new subscribers. I don't know what happened, but YouTube decided that my last video of my best books of the year, YouTube really liked it and recommended it to a lot of people. So if you're new, hi, my name is Alice. I'm an Italian booktuber that talks sometimes in English, predominantly so, but also sometimes in Italian. I talk about weird and niche books that nobody wants to read outside of me. And today we're going to be doing just that. Today I'm going to be talking about 23 books that I want to read in 2023. There's something that you have to know about me. I am a mood reader. I am extremely unpredictable. So I made this list. I'm not going to stick to it. I already know, but these are very interesting books that some of them are going to come out next year, so it's kind of like a most anticipated reading list. Some of them I already have. I have two right here. And some of them they're old books. I'm just waiting for the translation, or I'm just waiting to find them at the bookstore. But the first one, it's very, very exciting. It's In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. So this is a historical romance set in World War I, and I said to myself, no more werewolf books, no more. I don't want to hear the romances, I don't want to hear it. But this one, Alice Wynne, for a variety of super random reasons, I know is the author of one of my favorite fanfiction of all time. So I know her writing style is superb. She writes those AO3 fanfictions that's like stay with you for the longest of times, and she just has a way with words that is unparalleled in the fanfiction world. And this is a queer romance, so I think she's doing what she does best, because she, I think, is a history major, and I'm so excited. This is a weird one. So number 2 is August Kitko and the Mechas from Space. I don't know how to describe this book. It's so random and weird, and I want it. It's about mechas and a violinist. Like, there's music involved to operate the mechas, and it's a survival queer romance story. I read the plot like 5 times and I was like, what is going on? I want it. Number 3 is Une avec Eric Grant di Malika Fershuk. If you know me, I'm trying to better my French, because I did a lot of French in high school and my father lives in a place where they all speak French, so I want to better my French, reading French books. And Malika Fershuk has the best like cozy mystery novels. They haven't been translated into English, so I'm very sorry. These have been translated into Italian and French. Some of them, they're only in French, like this one. So I'm very excited. It's a cozy mystery set in the Hollywood, like old money scene, and I'm very excited. Take a shot every time I say excited in this video. You're going to get like blackout drunk. Number 4, Angel Before Men. This is a book one of my friends recommended. It was described as a romance between Lucifer and another angel, but they're biblically accurate. Which, if you know what biblically accurate means, it's impossible. How is it possible? Like blobs of eyes. So they're biblically accurate in the way that the story is biblically accurate, aside from, I think, the romance. And it talks a lot about grief. So, you know, right up my alley. Next year will be the year of angels. I have so many books about angels. Nano the Ninth, and next year Alacto the Ninth is gonna come out. I don't know what kind of person I'll be once I finish these books. I don't know what I'll do. I'm still waiting for the Italian translation of Nona so that I can read it with my friends. And I'm going to wait for the translation of Alacto, I think. So it's going to be prolonged at the time that I'm reading this series, but still, who am I without this book series? I'm not sure. Number 6, The Atlas Complex. I've already gushed about the first 2 books. I really, really like them. They're like the vibiest books because there's barely a plot. It's just like interaction with the characters that you actually don't kind of like. You're not supposed to like them all, but the story gets interesting at the end of the second book, so I'm very interested to see where the author is going to take them. It's also a lot about science and morals, which interests me a lot. Number 7 is an interesting book also. It's Little Mushroom. I think it's called Judgment Day, the first one by Shizi. This is a Chinese web novel that I think got published into English, but it's unfoundable. I cannot find a copy. It's sold out everywhere. It's about a little mushroom that gets sentient. He evolves into a humanoid creature, and it's a post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic scene and atmosphere, and Chinese web novel have the most creative plot lines that you only see in mangas usually, but they get translated into web novels and they're great. I also love Chinese translated literature into Italian and English because it gets so interesting with the choices of words and metaphors. I should have this book. One of my friends gifted it to me, but I cannot find it right now. But it's Chilling Effect by Neil Young. I mean, if you look closely at the cover, it's like, yeah, space, astronauts, but then you look closer and there are cats in little tiny helmets in 2 boxes. And it's about, a kind of a space opera, but not really like a cozy space opera with cats. I'm so super excited. I'm sorry, take a shot. Number 9, I want this book in my hands right now. When the Angels Left the Old Country by Sasha Lamb. I told you, Angels, man, 2023 is the year of the Angels. And this has been compared to Less and Less is Lost, 2 of my favorite books of all time. Less, one of my favorites, above all of them. And it's a road trip with angels, and they have to rescue this kid, and it's a very sweet and adult romance. You can hear my Italian hands wants to do all the gestures, but I have to hold the mic. But it sounds like my favorite book of last year and next year. It sounds like it's going to be like a super 5 stars or like a 6 stars. Number 10 is a weird book, which I'm very interested in weird books. They are either terrible or great. There's no in between, no mediocre weird book. Number 10 is Several People Are Typing by Ken Kazuke. It talks about this guy that works in IT, I think, and moderating posts. He finds himself into this electronic void, into this kind of parallel dimension that it's into the internet. And everybody just kind of believes that he's on vacation smart working, but then he gets stuck there. He cannot come out, like, mama. Sounds like what a lot of other books that I read this year and were disappointing, like Somebody Had to Remove This Post, was trying to do something on that vein, but better. So yeah, I'm going to test this book out. Number 11 is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Emily Henry's books are my happiness, my pride and joy, my heart. I love them, and Book Lovers was one of my favorites of this year, and it was so magical and funny, and Emily Henry has a way with words, writing, banter and dialogue that it's so special. And Happy Place sounds like one of her books. It's not a revolutionary plot for her especially, but it's a Emily Henry book. It's going to come out in the summer. I mean, come on, she is the moment. Did I say the Chilling Effect was by Neon Young? I am very dumb. Chilling Effect is by Valerie Valdez. The Genesis of Misery is by Neon Young. Have I mixed up the books? Okay, so Chilling Effect, the one with the cats. Genesis of Misery is the one with the minor protagonist. I am so dumb. The 2 have a very similar cover, but one is a cozy sci-fi and the other one is a more adult, serious sci-fi. So, these 2 books, I still want to read both of them. I'm so dumb. Number 13 is A Dark Academia. how could I not put a dark academia into this one? Or at least it's described as a dark academia, but I don't trust Goodreads when it puts like labels, because every sci-fi is a space opera. Space opera is a specific genre. No. Every literary fiction with a death in it is a dark academia. No. This one sounds like a dark academia. It's called The Honeys by Raya Lasala. It's sort of like Bunny in the way that the plot is described. There is this group of very weird and captivating kids called the Honeys, just like the bunnies in Bunny. And I know nothing about this book except from that. And you know, I'm here to be captivated. I wouldn't be the first person to get sucked into a cult. Possibly the last. I'm very like cynical, but my friends are, so I want to know how to be prepared. Number 13 is Babel, but I'm going to read you the whole title because nobody does that. Babel, or The Necessity of Violence, An Arcane History of the Oxford Translators' Revolution by R.F. Kuang. I really like R.F. Kuang as a person. She is now, I think, outside supporting the strike for the editors of the HarperCollins group, and they are the ones that published Babel. She gave them so much money with this book, and I'm very interested to see, because I am a translator. I do translating for fun in my free time for people. I know a lot about translating because Italy has like a culture very rich of translator. We have millennium of history of translators. So you know, various dialects. It's really complex and rich, the history, and I'm very interested to see R.F. Kuang take on the translator history in England. Number 15 will shock nobody. It's Love Theoretically by Ailey Hazelwood. I am a femme presenting person in STEM, okay? I am an engineer. You can see my dead eyes. I'm trying to major in engineering. And Ailey Hazelwood's story about women in STEM trying their best and falling in love with huge men, like, have a special place in my heart. Are they all self-insert fanfiction? Sure. But do I love them? Yes. They are very sweet, and she, like Emily Harry, I think writes very cute and snappy dialogues that I really like. And Love Theoretically sounds so cute. Just like hilarious and cute. A little bit for the millennials, not a lot for the Gen Zs as a vibe, but I still love them. Number 16 is by an author that I admire so much. It's by John Scalzi. It's the Kaiju Preservation Society. I think this won a Goodreads Choice Awards. But it talks about what says in the title, a Kaiju Preservation Society. If you don't know what kaijus are, they're these huge, enormous monsters, just like, you know, Godzilla. Godzilla is a kaiju, like the huge moth that Godzilla battles, and like those are kaiju movies. It's a figure that I think originated in Japan, and it's a little bit like Jurassic Park, but with enormous monsters that breathe fire and ice. Sounds so stupid, but John Scalzi has the most stupid plots, and they turn out amazing. So I'm very excited. Take a shot. Number 17. It's not my choice. It's Laura and Lust by Carol Nicole, which I know it's going to be a little bit trashy, because the plot already, like the synopsis, is already a little bit trashy. It's a fantasy book, a queer, I think, man-loving man fantasy book, and it's very smutty. That's all I know. The cover is gorgeous. I've never seen such a beautiful cover for a fantasy like this. But one of my friends said to me, oh, you're going to enjoy this so much, with like the mischievous glint in her eye. So I'm scared, and I'm not going to say it, but you should take a shot. Number 18, I put on this list just solely for the author. It's by Emily Tesh, who wrote Silver in the Woods, and I loved that short book. It's just so magical. This is a sci-fi story. It's called Some Desperate Glory, and it's a queer sci-fi book, I think with lesbians, and it's an adult. Yeah, it's an adult book, it's an adult plot. It sounds very thrilling and like kind of a very not so much action-packed, because I know Emily Tasha's writing is very atmospherical and whimsical, but I don't know what to expect from this book, but the author is amazing. I have another sci-fi book, because this one sounds insane. There's like everything into the plot. It's like AI, mechas, giant robots. It's called The Ark of Undying by Emma Miyako Kondon. I don't know what to tell you about the plot. It sounds just, you have to read it, because I didn't understand anything. It's like aliens, but also mechas, but also like Neon Genesis Evangelion. I have no idea, and I'm intrigued. And what would a list would be without a good horror? Maeve Fly has a gorgeous cover, and the premise is this girl goes batshit insane and starts killing people. That's it. That's it. I don't know what to tell you, but the cover intrigued me a lot. I don't know if there's going to be like a paranormal aspect to this horror, but I hope it's going to be gory and scary. This is the last one that is going to be released next year. It's The Late American by Brandon Taylor. This sounds like a little life without the tragedies. It's about found family. It's about a group of people that really finds compassion and love and friendship together. It's also, I think, a queer book. I could be mistaken, but I think it is. And yeah, I need something sweet. I need something comforting. If one is going to die, I'm going to cry my eyes out and rage, and I'm going to love this book, of course. Last two books are books that I already have. They're like here. These are books that I have to read. One is for a video, another one is just, I'm reading these books with my friends, so I have to. The first one, which is the book that I'm reading with my friends, is The Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. I read 88 pages and I was like, Robin Hobb writes the most beautiful fantasies, but they are so slow. And they are very hard to get into, but I found the audiobook, so I'm going to listen to it. So I hope I can get through like the whole series next year, just like I did this year with the first series, the one with the Fool. And then I have this one. This one haunts me. Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart. This promises to be heartbreaking, like so shattering, but beautiful. Queer story set, you know, in tragedy. It's about working class and boys who fall in love when they shouldn't. I'm ready to cry. I am so ready to cry. This is the last video of the year. I hope you had fun this year with me, even though I completely abandoned this channel at the start of the year. I'm not going to do that next year, I promise. And I hope you enjoyed this list. I'm going to revisit it at the end of 2023 to see which ones I've read. And I hope to see you well in the next year. It's going to be a rough year for me, but I hope it will be a wonderful year for you. So, my social are all down below. I'm most active on TikTok if you want to follow me. If you want to follow this channel, leave a comment. It will be wonderful, and I'll see you in the next one next year. Goodbye. Mwah!